What's up, YouTube? Jeff, your Style O.G. And on today's video, I'm going to tell you why, in my opinion, it's still okay to be a traditional masculine man. If you're new to the channel, we release a new video every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, discussing various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. I invite you to subscribe, tap that notification bell, and join us. And to my returning friends like Peter Torre Jr., salute. Now, first off, let me lay some groundwork on what I believe to be a traditional masculine man. To me, that's a guy who exhibits strength, courage, independence, leadership. He's direct, he's goal-oriented, he's on his purpose. And it seems nowadays, some of those qualities are considered negative characteristics. I wholeheartedly disagree. Now, I want you to know it's not a coincidence that my background is gray. That's because I believe life is lived in the gray areas. Yes, I do believe there are some characteristics in a traditional stereotypical masculine man that are indeed toxic or negative. Let me give you a couple examples. Being crude, disrespectful, overly aggressive, doing things that are illegal, harassing women, making them feel uncomfortable, and of course, being overly angry and violent. However, I don't believe we should swing to the other end of the spectrum. You don't have to be soft, a pushover. You can still be assertive, direct, strong, and courageous. And that's what I want to talk about on today's video. On today's video, I'm going to explain to you why, in my opinion, it's okay to be a traditional masculine man and explain what I mean by that. So if you're ready to hear all about that, let's hop right into it. Now, one of the most important things you need to know is that you get to define what masculine means to you. Don't be overly dependent on what I say or what society says a masculine man is. That's why, because this is the Style O.G channel, I'm gonna tell you what I believe a masculine man is, and that's what the video is gonna be about. But you get to define it for yourself. My channel, my point of view. First off, a quality about a traditional man that I still believe is okay: it's all right to be assertive. A man should go for what he wants. A man should have a purpose, and he should be unapologetic about pursuing it. But here's the thing: you should be assertive, not overly aggressive. Here's the difference. An assertive man goes for what he wants, but he doesn't step on other people's toes unnecessarily. He's not shoving other people out of the way to get to what he wants, but he's darn sure standing his ground and not getting pushed out of the way either. So yes, it's still okay to be strong, courageous, independent, and assertive. And that leads into my next point on why it's okay to still be traditionally masculine. You are allowed to stand up for what you believe in and stand firm in it. You don't have to kowtow to what other people believe, even if it's unpopular. You can stand your ground. You and I may have a difference of opinion on religion, politics, or anything else. You're allowed to take that stand, but I'm allowed to stand firm in my belief as well. As long as you standing up for what you believe doesn't infringe on somebody else's right to believe what they believe, that's still traditional, it's still masculine, it's still okay. One of the challenges I think modern men run into these days when trying to be a more evolved masculine guy is knowing where they stop thinking men are better and women are inferior. They wind up doing the opposite. They pedestalize women. Don't do that either. What can often happen when trying to balance scales, you can swing too far in the opposite. This can allow people to start thinking women are better. You should put them on a pedestal. They're naturally superior just because they're a woman. That's not true. Just like you aren't innately better than a woman just because you're a man, the opposite is true as well. You don't become inferior to her when trying to dampen down negative aspects of traditional masculinity. You just no longer see yourself as superior. That doesn't mean she's superior over you either. Don't let the pendulum swing all the way in the opposite direction and put a woman on a pedestal just for being a woman. That doesn't work either. Another thing that I wholeheartedly believe that's okay about being a traditional masculine man: it's okay to only show your emotions in moderation. Here again is another problem I believe occurs when swinging too far in the opposite direction. No, men aren't supposed to be overly emotional, showing their emotions every day of the week. But we should be allowed to express emotions other than anger. But I don't want you crying every weekend, maybe once or twice a year. Yes, I believe a man should express and feel a whole range of human emotion. Should you show it as much as women do? No, But you should show them more than we traditionally do. That's where you adapt and evolve. But I don't want you to feel bad if you're not all of a sudden weeping and crying every 5 minutes. That's not what you need to do. I believe a man expresses a full range of human emotion, but in moderation. That's okay. It's traditional and it's masculine. You know what else a traditional masculine man does that I believe is still okay, and I encourage it? To be a gentleman. Here's why. In my opinion, there's 2 prime directives a man has: to be a provider and a protector. When you display gentlemanly qualities, it indicates to a woman you can be a provider in a small, subtle way. Opening a door, standing on the side closest to a street. Yes, these are things a woman can do for herself, but you're indicating that you want to protect in a small, subtle, and gentlemanly way. Now, I have anecdotally heard of women not wanting men to be gentlemanly. I've only seen this when women are not interested in the said guy. I've never seen a woman tell a guy she likes, "Don't hold that door for me." It doesn't happen. So being a gentleman isn't telling a woman she can't do something, it's showing her she doesn't have to. I also believe it's still okay to be, even in these modern times, physically strong and, dare I say, tough. I don't care how evolved we become as a society, men are still the physically stronger gender in the species. And it's okay to embrace that. You should be physically fit. You should get the best out of the body you've been given. That's masculine, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be soft and a pushover, and that includes physically. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a violent, angry guy. I don't find any benefit in being soft and being a physical pushover. Although we are the most evolved animals in the animal kingdom, we're still animals. We have to still deal with survival of the fittest. Being physically strong and, dare I say, tough helps you do that. That's manly, and there's nothing wrong with it. Now, this next characteristic is really important to me, and I feel very strongly about this. It's okay still to be a competitive man. Life is still gonna have winners and losers. It's okay to strive to be a winner. A man, in order to succeed in this world, no matter what time period we're talking about, you have to be competitive. Somebody is gonna come out on top. Why not you? Life, especially for men, is based on outcomes. Yes, there are hierarchy. And yes, I do encourage you to get as high on the totem pole as you can be. I don't believe in participation trophies for men. That's one of the things I think have been lost in our modern times. You shouldn't get a pat on the back just for showing up. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. Nothing wrong with you striving to be a winner. That's masculine, and it's okay. But I 100% believe you should channel your competitiveness in the right direction. Channel that masculine competitive spirit professionally, academically, and athletically. We have grade point averages for a reason. Strive to be at the top of your class. We have management and senior positions at a company for a reason. Work your way up the work and corporate ladder. And yes, of course, I love sports. That's a great area to challenge your competitive spirit. In my opinion, men are supposed to be competitive. Men should strive to be successful. Just channel this competitive spirit in the right direction. 3 great directions to channel them in: professionally, athletically, and academically. Another traditional masculine train of thought that I still believe works even in our modern times: it's okay for a man to still want to assume leadership positions. Whether it's amongst your friends, family, at work, or in your household, there's nothing wrong with a man being in charge. Men usually are natural born leaders. There's no need to give that up. However, if you're in a situation where a woman has better qualities or better knowledge about a certain topic, a good leader always knows when to follow. And yes, male and female roles have evolved over time. Women are working more, therefore they're going to take some more leadership in the household, as different responsibilities are now shared and the load is shared more evenly in different situations in different departments. That doesn't mean you still can't be the head of the household. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to determine how things should work in your household. Whether you take the leadership 90% of the time, you share 50-50, or if you want to sit back and follow, that's on you. But I'm here to tell you, there's nothing wrong with the man taking a leadership position. And that's kind of the gist of what I wanted to talk about on today's video. I feel that being a traditional man is a bit under attack. It's still okay to amass resources, to have a great work ethic, to want to provide and protect. There's nothing negative about any of those qualities. But like I said in the beginning of the video, you don't need to be crude, disrespectful, do things that are illegal, harass women and make them feel uncomfortable. Those traditional aspects of masculinity, along with violence and the only emotion you ever express being anger, those I agree are toxic masculine traits, which is kind of my overall point. Don't let society define to you what a masculine man should be. Don't even let me define it for you. You decide what a man should be. You strive to be that. But don't let anybody tell you being strong, courageous, independent, having a work ethic and a sense of purpose is negative or toxic. I'll never accept that. As always, I want you to let me know your opinion in the comment section. Tell me what you believe a masculine man should or shouldn't be. I'd love to know.